For this Fun with Frida paint project, go ahead and watch the video one time all the way through, listening to the steps, and then you can go ahead and pause and play at your leisure, mute the video, and put it on closed captions so that you can recall all the steps. Go at your own pace and just copy the steps, drawing the shapes that I draw as slowly as you wish. We're using watercolor pencils, and we're going to start with a large face shape, which is really just a giant U. I'm using brown for the skin and black for the hair. Yeah, I do little scallopy loops for the hairline around the forehead, and you can just observe and follow along a flowing shape for the outer edge of the hair. You can choose to use any colors you like for the flowers in her hair, and I'm just drawing some very simple flower shapes, looped petals, and a little central circle. Like I said, use whatever colors you want and make them whatever shapes you want. Just try to make them about the size that I'm doing here. We will be filling in all of our shapes with the colors of the colored pencil, which can also be layered for slightly different hues. I like to make my coloring a little bit lighter than my outlines, and it really doesn't have to be perfect because when we add the water to activate the paint, it kind of blends it and makes it smooth again.
We sat and watched the stars together, and I didn't make a wish. I was hoping you'd catch them moving across the sky. To wish for whatever'd make you happy again. I was thinking you could use a star to yourself, plus I couldn't think of anything. My focus was on your breath. I read somewhere that it might speed up if you were feeling the way I did. Was it selfish of me to not wish for grace or for peace? I mean, I guess, but I wanted to save all the stars, all for you. 'Cause life makes you stupid, it makes you selfish, it makes you crazy. Like it reminds you of things like butterflies and lightning.
Notice, like I said, that the coloring is really not perfect. It's just getting a nice coverage down. It's pretty soft, actually. The only thing I do avoid is hard lines in the coloring part. I just keep my pencil moving back and forth, gliding across the surface. And let's not forget her neck and her earlobes. And I'm going to choose a nice bright red for her shawl and just kind of draw some long sloping lines that can indicate folds of fabric. You can use whatever color you want to put her in. For the fabric folds, I'm not coloring all of it. I'm just adding red to some of it. As we activate it with water, you'll notice this gives it a sense of having some highlights and some shadows. As we begin to activate the paint, I like to work in color sections and then clean the brush between different colors. It's also helpful if one section dries before we begin painting the section right next to it. I like to turn my brush so that I can use the little corner if I'm getting into a small area, or right up against the lines, just to keep it nice and tight in the details. So have fun with this part, and if there's any areas of your coloring that you wanted to smooth out, this would be the time to do it. And try to avoid feeling like it needs to be one flat tone across the whole thing. It is watercolor, and it's pretty lovely to allow the watercolor to have darker areas and lighter areas. So just enjoy this part. It's pretty fun.
Something so special, I slammed down the pedal, not thinking of whether or not I should stop or go, depending on whether or not the weather is hot or cold. I'm sold on the warmth of your promises, scared that I'll get bored, in a constant state of missing you, so I'm always distracted. I'm attracted to the me you see, stop tracking all the things that I wish to be. I don't wanna be your ghost. Thought this was stronger, can't try for much longer. I tried to stop her, they were never really here for me. I hope I haunt your sleep. Hope you can say everything you meant to tell me in your dreams. Imagine loving someone but not telling them until they leave. I don't want to be your ghost. I don't wanna have to beg for your touch. You want to disappear. Maybe you need me too much. I don't wanna be your ghost. Stop picking me apart. I just don't feel myself a whole when you only see me for my faults. And I feel like I could float through walls, cause nobody can see the inner workings of my being, just a flawed chemical machine. I don't want to be your ghost, I don't want to overstay. I hate how I'm tied down by things, I wish that I could leave. I wish that you could let me go, don't save a seat for me. Even when I'm not really there, you'll still feel my memory. I don't want to be your ghost. I don't wanna have to beg for your touch. You want to disappear. I don't trust myself enough.
Now, while the skin should be dry by now on the face, and we're going to be allowing the hair and the flowers to dry, we can go ahead and begin drawing the facial details on. You do want to make sure that the brown is dry before you do this part, and we can begin with the iconic unibrow. As we did with all of the rest of the drawing, you're just going to follow along with these general shapes. Everybody's will look a little bit different, and that is the beauty of it. So find fun in your Frida.
Want you to look 'em in the eyes, separate the truth from lies, and let it all out. Look up at the sky, watch the clouds as they go by, and let it all out. Things will be alright. Day turns into night and you let it all out. If you want to cry, if you want to smile, let it all out. Yeah, I'm dancing with myself. Don't worry about nobody else. If I make the pages or make friends in high places, it's all good. getting, get to the forgiving and forgetting. I let it all out. Things get in my way every day. All that I can say is let it all out. Time is just so fleeting. Why do I spend it all thinking I should let it all out? Sit back, find the flow, 'cause it's not time to go. Let it all out. Yeah, I'm dancing with myself. Don't worry about nobody else. If I make the pages or make friends in high places, it's all good. It's all good.
There's so many things you can do in the background. I just decided to give it kind of an earthy vibe with this green stripe that I'm putting horizontally across the background behind her. And you can look up some pictures of Frida, look up some of her design motifs, things that she would do in the backgrounds of her paintings, and use your imagination and make it your own. The sky's the limit.
It's all good.
After sitting overnight, I did decide to add these little butterfly shapes to the background, and I think she's done. I'd love to see your Frida. If you would want to tag Party to Go at your social media accounts, we would just love to see a big fun collection of Fridas. Music by the one and only K-Love.